For those of you who love to see lots of action in model train layouts, this next segment is for you. We're off to Arizona to visit an O-gauge layout that has modeled the three areas of Arizona: the high desert, the mining areas around Flagstaff, and the Sonoran Desert, all in a Scottsdale basement.
Now arriving from Kansas, train number 16, the Texas Chief.
All model train layouts reflect the unique personalities of their creators. Elliott Klein's Paradise Desert and Western layout is no exception. Take a look.
There are 4 lines on the layout because I wanted a lot of action. I enjoy running trains. I'm a collector, but I'm also an operator. And the more track and the more trains running, the more interesting the layout is to me.
And there's certainly plenty of action here. You can watch trains run for about 20 minutes before you see one repeat its path. There are 20 bridges, so it's not uncommon to see a Union Pacific Northern going over one bridge, while the Santa Fe Super Chief crosses over a Dash 8 diesel on another. This setup could make a train watcher out of anyone. One minute, the Santa Fe Super Chief is soaring past Native American ruins, while the next minute, a steam shay is hauling ore cars up to the Cohiba mine. It's easy to get mesmerized by this 1,400 square foot layout. Elliott captured the rich diversity of Arizona in his O-gauge high rail model layout. It's a miniature rail tour of some of the state's most scenic areas, combining both modern diesel cars and steam locomotives with freight and passenger lines.
The layout really resembles the 3 basic geographic areas found in Arizona. The middle level is high desert, and with the red rocks very similar to the geography that you'd find in Sedona. Then the lower level is reminiscent of the Sonoran Desert of the Phoenix metropolitan and Tucson metropolitan areas. And of course, the focus of the layout is the mining site. And that mining site is very typical of mining sites that you find throughout Arizona, as well as New Mexico. And this part of the United States is rich with mining history. So that's really a focal point of the layout.
Perhaps Elliott's background in broadcasting had an impact on the rich detail in his layout. A friend helped him come up with the track plan, and he hired a professional who built models for the motion picture business to create the realistic scenery and buildings.
All of the buildings on the layout have been scratch built. None of them are done from kits. So the passenger station is very typical of what was done in the Southwest with regard to the architecture, the adobe architecture that you find in New Mexico and Arizona.
It took 7 months to complete the scenery. When it came to lighting, Elliott's television production experience came in handy again.
The lighting was really important because shadows, I think, can do a lot as far as making things stand out or making things blend in. I believe that the lighting is as important as the scenery itself. There are several non-traditional engineering features in the layout. Most traditional toy train layouts or model train layouts run their track power through the control panel to control the different rail blocks on the layout. I chose not to do that and thereby eliminated half of the bus wiring that was necessary when you run the track power back to the control panel. We used DC relays, and we also used bicolored LED indicators to indicate the switch positions on the layout, red being a switch to a siding and green being a switch to a main line. And the control panel is basically all DC control voltages. There's no track power that runs to that control panel. So that's what really makes it very unique, and it cut the amount of wiring by 50%.
Recently, Elliott added a wireless handheld transmitter that enables him to walk around freely while operating the layout. And that addition led to another idea.
Future plans for the layout include adding several video cameras, probably 4 or 5. And being able to look at the layout as somebody 4 inches tall would look at the layout. I'd also like to put some mobile cameras in the trains so that you have a panoramic view in scale as if you were riding in the cab of a locomotive or sitting in a dining car of a passenger train.
Even if Elliott never changed another thing on this layout, he's still achieved his major goals. The Paradise, Desert, and Western layout is an action-packed ride into the scenic wonders of the Southwest. Filled with technological and artistic wizardry, the layout offers challenges for anyone who simply loves to run trains, or just loves to watch them run.